can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career.
You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you live your best life by being healthy relationally, successful professionally, and peaceful financially. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague George Camel with a K, 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. George and I are here for you today together. And so you know this show if you've been listening for any amount of time, but if you're new to the show, we really are helping you in those three major areas: relationships, your professional and work life, and your financial life. They are all interconnected. And so George and I are here for you. Listen, if you've got a really sticky situation and you feel like you need someone to help you today, but it's private in nature, Kelly is standing by. She'll change your name, your location. I just want to reach out to you and say, hey, come on. We'll protect your identity because we want to help you get that breakthrough that you need. You ready to go, pal?
I'm ready. Can Kelly change my name while we're at it?
Kelly can do a lot of things. Very powerful
Wouldn't
woman.
put it past her.
I would not. Let's start with Sebastian, who joins us in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. Sebastian, how can we help?
Hi. I totally did not expect to be on the phone. I just called randomly.
Well, great.
So,
I thought he called the wrong number for a second.
Did you want to order a pizza, or did you want to talk to us? Because we can help you with both.
Oh, man. So, I'm 21 years old, and I actually just sold my car. I got it with equity, actually. I sold my 2014 Mustang. Those gas prices were killing me. That car was just sitting down. So right now I'm saving myself about like $700 a month now because of it.
Nice.
And like it was just sitting there. So my question to you is, I've made that mistake twice. I've bought two cars of those, sold them. I probably lost about like $8,000-9,000 in those cars. But oh well, they were fun. I'm an EMT at the moment, emergency medical technician. I work for minimum wage, and I don't want to be here forever. So I want to pursue nursing school. So at the moment, I am wondering whether I should take my time with it. I can go full-time if I want to, finish all the prerequisites I need to. But the problem is I can get waitlisted for like 3-4 years and might not even ever get in. Now, there's another option. It's called West Coast University, and I can get into student loan. It's like $140,000.
No, stop.
Not a good idea?
Stop. No. You don't need to go into debt for $140,000 to be a nurse. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a lot better ways to do it. We'll break that down in a second. But let me just lead with the bumper sticker. Sebastian, any love or passion and purpose you would have for nursing will quickly dissipate within months of watching that massive student loan debt come in the mail. It's just going to kill all joy for loving on people. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It's worth waiting for. It's worth waiting for. What are your options to do this? What are your options to do this without taking out debt?
I don't have to. That's the thing. But I don't know. I think I'm just more like I want to help people, but I also want to be making the money.
I get it.
You can do both.
You just ignored everything I said, Sebastian. Your response was, but I want to be making more money. And you think making more money as an RN is going to be the better trade-off. What you're not hearing is, George, give him an idea what those debt payments, what that's going to look like and feel like emotionally. Walk him through that.
Sebastian, what do you think you'll make your first year as a nurse?
I heard they're making average in California. I'm pretty sure they start like maybe $70,000-80,000 a year.
That's correct.
That's working 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. $70,000-80,000. Woo!
So that's $70,000 after all the taxes are taken out, and you live in California, so there's a lot of them. You're going to be left with a much smaller take-home pay, and then out of that, you're going to be sending a huge chunk of that, probably 30-40%, over to Sally Mae to pay off the student loans that you thought were a good idea. And then, like Ken's saying, you're going to be miserable because you're going to be stressed out about the payments every day you come into work going, how am I going to even put food on the table this week? How am I going to live my life and do the things that I want to do? Man, this was a bad idea. So I can see that future for you, and we don't want that. We know there's other ways you can do this. We know there's much more affordable alternatives. We know that you can extend your timeline and cash flow the experience so that you can graduate without debt and actually enjoy the work you do.
Yeah, Sebastian, did you get the math that George just laid out for you? How much of that 70, 80,000 are you actually going to be able to live on? Not much.
Exactly. And then
all right, now listen. So George just gave you the financial breakdown. I want to come back to the emotional thing that I led with. Because if you do what George says and you do it and you know how to do it and you do it debt-free, there are going to be some long days as a nurse. True or false, Sebastian?
Yeah.
There are going to be some heavy days too, the stuff that you will see. Am I right, Sebastian?
Yes, definitely.
If you're
just working on the ambulance.
I know. So, Sebastian, if you're debt-free, you're going to be able to withstand and press through those hard, long, heavy days. But if you're not debt-free, in the midst of all that weight from the work, you will walk out like a zombie, going, why am I doing this? And then you're going to call the Ken Coleman Show, because I get these calls. Ken, I'm burned out. I'm trying to stop you.
I want to do.
I know, but Sebastian, I'm trying to stop you from that. You're on the front end of this deal. You can make a little bit more money. Why not go get a second job? You're 21. If you want to supplement your income, go do that, man. But stay debt-free in the pursuit of being a nurse. I beg you to stay debt-free. Can you do it?
I can do it.
So
I know you
Here's
can.
your homework, Sebastian. Go find the most affordable option to go to nursing school. Then let's do math and go, okay, what's this going to take for me to be able to cash flow this? What scholarships can I go apply for like it's a part-time job? How much can I work on the side to begin to save up for this or even work while I'm in school? Then you develop a game plan, and when you take debt off the table, you're going to get creative. And you're going to start going, all right, here's my game plan. Here's how I'm going to do this. I could save $10,000, $20,000 a year, and I can cash flow this thing in 2 years. Good. Let's do that.
That's right. You got it, young man. You got your marching orders. George gave you good homework. Be a good student. Do what Uncle George said.
And if you want to put the fear of God in you, please go watch the Borrowed Future documentary that we released.
Great call.
Goodness gracious. There's no human being that can watch that documentary and walk away going, I think student loans are all right. You'll get a good job at the end of it. Life will be okay. No. The horror stories, and they're not cherry-picked. This is happening all over the country. People are really struggling, and I have a lot of empathy for those that are struggling with student loan debt. They feel like they got conned. And the truth is, if you keep waiting on the next president to fix your problems and get you out of debt, you're going to be waiting a very long time. And so you've got to own up to the thing that you signed up for, the student loan, the interest rate you didn't look at. It's on you. And the good news is you're the solution, too. You can get out of this.
Folks, listen to me. I'm the guy at Ramsey Solutions that talks about making more money and experiencing more meaning, and you can. But listen to me. If you find that dream job and you're in a horrible, horrible pit of debt, that will weigh on you, and all of the dream and all of the love and all of the passion won't matter. Take it from me on this. Don't go into debt for your future. This is the Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey to start your approval or get more information.
The Ramsey Show continues from our Nashville HQ. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Ramsey personality, George Camel with a K. I think it's going to stick.
It's helpful. I think people are learning slowly.
I do. I want people to know about you because you're an awesome dude. You're doing great work.
I appreciate that.
And it's been fun doing lots of shows with you recently.
Yeah, second or third one this week.
Yeah. We're going to bring
time.
you the practicality that people long for, but we're going to have a little fun while we do it.
That's not illegal.
No.
You can have fun while you work.
George and I like to have fun. By the way, he sits right next to me. So your desk is you're 3 feet away.
And now we just moved about 20 feet over from our desks to the studio.
To continue to sit next to each other.
That's what we call a double blessing.
That's what we call the proximity principle.
That's fair.
Oh, boy. The unnecessary book promotion
Full
just dropped
circle.
in there. All right, let's get to the phones. It is a free call, 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Let's go to Indianapolis, Indiana, where Ray is joining us. Ray, how can we help?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
So I had an interesting last 6 months. Lost a couple jobs over the last 2 years, and just due to COVID. And now I'm working in a place, working in a factory, and in the last 6 months, they're now promoting me, which is great. But I also just had an interview recently and might get offered a job in marketing, which is why I left. The problem I'm having is marketing would pay more, but where I'm at is probably a lot more stable. So I guess my question is, are my fears justified in wanting something that's purely stable, or should I take a leap on something that's going to be a little bit more pay?
Why is the current job or the other job, let's call it the non-marketing job, why is that more stable in your mind?
Bigger company, it's a bigger factory. There is room to grow, and places that I could go, other jobs I could get here.
Do you want to go up that ladder in that factory, or do you want to move up the ladder that the marketing job will provide?
Marketing wouldn't provide any kind of upward trajectory.
Why?
It would just be because of the location that it's at. I would basically be doing the same job. I mean, I could be there, 10 years, but I'd be doing the same job for 10 years.
And so you don't want to go into marketing. You would rather go in. What would be the upward mobility type jobs at the factory that you're at?
I could work in packaging. I could work, just a lot of different jobs. I mean, some of them I have no interest in, but some of them, again, would offer more upward mobility. It's just I don't think I really have a passion for them either.
Okay, so that's a problem, because my point is that's just a job. So you're talking about upward mobility into something that you really won't have any juice for. Do you love the idea of doing marketing? Forget that it's a limiting position in that company, but do you like the idea of marketing? Is that something you enjoy doing much more?
Yes.
Okay, then. So here's why I would take the marketing job. I take the marketing job to get out of the factory world, which you don't want to do. I would get into the marketing world, and now we've got experience. And oh, by the way, a nice bump in pay. Is that true?
Yes.
So we take the bump in pay. We get all excited about that. But we're really taking the job not for the bump in pay. We're taking it for the experience. You got your ticket into the marketing world. That experience that you're getting is going to be huge for you. And we know going in, I'm not going to be at this company for a long time because I want to move up, George. Yeah. And they're not offering the opportunity to move up, but it doesn't matter because I can move up by moving on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I see way more options than Ray sees. I don't see you're not stuck at this company forever.
No.
If you don't move up within a few years and you feel like you've gained experience, guess what? Another company is going to hire you for marketing because of your experience.
That's right. So I take the marketing job with a mind of I'm going to do a good job in the present. I got to win in that role. Don't be looking 6 months to hit the eject button and get out. I'm going to go in and crush it. And I know I'm going to crush it because I'm going to put everything I can into it because I see a future in marketing, and I know that there is a much better chance of me getting to that future faster if I win in the now, and then the opportunity for the next will come from another company. So you have a false narrative right now. If I go to this marketing company, there's no opportunity to advance. That's not true.
If you're good enough, they'll create a position for you.
Or, again, you're not limited to stay in that company. You can go move up by moving on. So there you go. All right, let's go to Blake now in Atlanta, Georgia. Blake, how can we help?
Hey, how's it going today?
We're having a blast. What's going on with you?
It sounds like it. Okay, so quick question. I don't really know exactly what to do about the situation, and I'm trying to find some legal advice as well. I don't know if you
Came
guys
to the right
can do that
place.
for me
Me and
or not.
Ken are both attorneys at law.
Yeah, George goes
Great.
by Esquire here in the office. We don't even call him George.
Great. Okay, so I had a business prior to COVID. It was a remodeling business. I did very well. COVID hit. A lot of my crews took unemployment. A lot of my guys took, loans for their own LLCs and left. And I made the decision at that point in time to try to survive and keep the business going. So I took out a loan. It was an unforgivable loan at the time because my crews were not employed. They were all 1099. None of them were W-2. So I could not get that forgivable loan. Now I'm in a situation where my business did not make it. I had to go and get another job, and I still have this loan to pay back, but I have, it's a loan on a business that it's no longer operating.
That's a big problem, Blake. It's one of the reasons
a big problem.
why we, especially business owners, tell them to do it with cash. This is the equivalent of me taking out a student loan and I don't finish college. Mm-hmm. There's no way to say, well, hey, I didn't finish college. Do I have to pay it back? Yes, you took out the loan.
How much do you owe?
So it's a $96,000 loan.
Is that all of your debt, personal and business?
No, I have a little bit more.
What else is there?
I have a car loan, which I drive a car. That's about $30,000, and I have student loans, which is about $12,000.
How much is the car worth in this market?
It's a brand new car, 2022. It's $36,000 car.
Well, today you get to sell a car, my friend, because you are.
I can't. I feel like I can't because I drive for my current job.
Hold on. Wait. George was not saying you need to be Fred Flintstone.
I didn't say you can't drive a car. I said you can't drive a $36,000 car when you're broke.
You owe $30,000 on the car, yes?
Yes.
So you'll net $6,000. That means get yourself a $6,000 car.
Yeah, I can find. I love George. I'm going to pull up some. George, help him out of debt. I'm going to pull up some great $5,000 cars online just to prove the point. This is one of my favorite things to do.
I always saw Ken as a used car salesman.
No, I'm just an interweb researcher. Here we go.
So just real quick. So I tried to do that, right? And every time I buy a used car, especially in that price range, which I totally understand and I get that. I'm constantly putting money into it to keep it running.
Stop buying crappy cars. Get an inspection before you buy it.
I drive about 150 miles a day, so it needs to be a car that's extremely dependable.
I got you, Blake.
Let
George help you. I'll have suggestions shortly. Let Blake stop. You're going to lose this. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to get him a reliable car for $5,000. George, help him out.
Blake, we're getting a Honda or Toyota sedan.
Hey, I'm trying to come up with those. You're jumping ahead of the game.
Well, I'm just telling him what he's going to be looking for. You're going to find the exact car and prove to him that it can be found.
I'm going to the Atlanta area.
You can drive 150 miles a day on a Honda or Toyota, and it'll run forever. You don't need a $30,000 car. You're justifying why you need a super expensive car while you're broke because you drive a lot.
That's true.
Right?
Agreed.
George,
what do you make? What's your income?
About $150,000.
Whoa!
That is some good news, Blake.
That's awesome.
So once we sell this car, you are down to your $12,000 in student loan debt and then your business debt, correct?
Yes.
And so we're going to do the debt snowball. We're going to take all the money you have and everything but $1,000 we are throwing at that debt in order. The debt snowball. Smallest to largest, we're ignoring interest rate. We're going to knock out the student loan in a few months. And then we're going to attack the business loan with a vengeance. And then we're never going to touch debt again. Agree to agree?
I agree.
Boom. We got there, and Ken's already, I'm seeing cars on Ken's screen.
I've got a Subaru Forester for $5,200. I got a Ford Focus
Blake is going to look so uncool in this new car, and I love it.
I'm sorry, Ford Fusion, $4,800. All of these, not mechanically expensive to keep up. And I'm running out of time. I'd have much more, but I've got to get to a break. Blake, you got this. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're not using Pure Talk for your wireless, you're paying too much. Pure Talk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to puretalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month.
Welcome to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by George Camel, and we are here for you this hour, 888-825-5225. We're talking about your money life. We're talking about your relationships. We're talking about your work. All of those are interconnected, and if you are losing in any one of those areas, it can affect the others. And we are excited that you're here. We're also excited to look out into the lobby of Ramsey Solutions to see Josh and Emily on the debt-free stage. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Where'd you guys come in from?
Sunbury, Ohio.
All right. Very nice. That sounds lovely, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys are here to do your debt-free scream. How exciting is this?
Oh, we've been waiting. This is awesome.
All right. Let's get the details. All right. So how much debt did you pay off?
$149,400.
$149,400. And how much time did it take to pay that off?
22 months.
22. Whoa. We got George. I detect some intensity. 22
Absolutely.
months. All right. And what was your range of income during that time?
Started out at $120,000, and when we finished, we were right at $200,000.
Oh wow! What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a firefighter paramedic.
And I'm a software engineer.
Ooh. Okay. So what was the cause of the bump? Of about what? $80,000.
I got a promotion.
Nice. Way to go, Mama.
And then I had a pay bump and a lot of overtime.
Whoa.
Nice.
So this is both of you getting after it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. How tired are you right now?
It could be nap time.
That's awesome. So what happened 22 months ago?
So it was the start of the pandemic, and I was taking care of all of our finances. And so all of that burden fell on my shoulders, and it always felt like he had to come to me and say, can we buy this? Can we fit this in to the month? Can we afford this monthly payment? And I was always the no person, or yeah, we can, but deep inside it's like, we really shouldn't do this.
Wow. And so what happened then? Did you know about Ramsey Solutions, Dave Ramsey? What was the moment where we go, okay, who's going to help us do this, or how are we going to do this?
So Emily had actually seen it on Facebook on one of the ads.
Okay.
So
Because we're doing 2 weeks free.
Yes, in the very beginning of the pandemic, Dave did a 2-week free trial. So we binge watched FPU in that first 2 weeks.
Wow.
My
Our social
goodness.
media team loves to hear that.
Way to
That's
go.
very cool, man, the impact there. So what kind of
is.
debt was this?
We had
Everything.
21 different accounts.
What?
Anything from credit cards, student loans, multiple cars, a timeshare.
Wow.
So you got out of the timeshare?
No,
No.
that was not able to happen.
We paid it off.
Okay.
Yes.
Paid it off. Well, we know that, right? We're
How do you
debt-free.
keep up with that many accounts? That feels stressful on its own.
Right. We had good online banking, but just we didn't ever want to move banks because I'm like, there's so many in there, like I can't move them all. So
Wow.
So I didn't detect much of a story here, Josh. So when Emily kind of brings this up, she says, hey, Facebook ad, 2 weeks free. She brings it up to you. I didn't detect a lot of pushback. Did you jump in pretty willingly?
Yeah, I did. One of the big causes was when we were a few months prior, we had looked at, when could we retire? How much is this going to take? And when we looked at what we actually had left over at the end of the month, we're like, well, we won't be able to retire.
Wow.
And was a big thing for us. What can we leave to our kids? What can we, live on, after our work life is over? So when she found that online, it was like, this is a blessing.
Wow. So you guys binge watch.
Yes.
Did you quickly get some momentum? Was it hard to kind of get going? Talk to us about after the binge.
It took us a little while to get through all the accounts and actually list everything out, and we were still finding things.
That was huge, an eye-opener. We did an Excel spreadsheet and listed them all out. I'm like, shoot, there's 21 there. Like,
It's bad when the hardest
number.
part is just listing out all the debt,
Yes.
not even paying it off. Oh, my goodness.
So we got the ball rolling, and that was definitely an eye-opener to see that we could make this snowball work for us and not against us.
And you realize you're working too hard to be this broke. You're going, we make 6 figures. How can we not do this?
Yeah. I asked her that a lot.
Wow.
We can't afford this, but we make this much money. So it was great.
there a point in the journey? So we got a 22-month journey. Was there a point you look back on, you go, okay, we got real momentum here. We felt it. Then we were like, okay, now we can see that this is going to happen.
Once the student loans went away, I was like, ooh, like those are finally gone. We don't have to deal with them anymore.
How much of the 149.4 was the student loan? Roughly.
Oh, gosh.
Probably 45.
Yeah.
Wow. So big chunk there.
And then he sold a bunch of stuff.
What was the hardest thing to sell for you emotionally?
Emotionally, probably a barn, actually.
Wow.
The material for a barn that I had bought a few years prior that I was going to put up on the property. And I said, you know what? Let's go and get rid of it and take the money. I mean, I sold everything from that to tools. And then just to finish everything off, I sold another truck.
Wow. So you delayed the dream of the barn to clean up the nightmare that was your reality.
Wow.
Yep.
That's powerful.
That is strong. So what's the key? What would you say to people that are listening and watching your story right now? What's the key to getting out of debt?
I think just focus and paying attention to what's going on around you. So, we looked up and realized we were almost under $50,000 in debt, and we didn't really even know how we got there. So, understanding and learning, all about finances and understanding that, there's a lot of money going out the door every month, and we had no idea where it was going.
That can get yourself keyed in with a support group, with a key group of community members. A big thing for us was our church. That and a nonprofit for first responders for mental health and suicide prevention.
Wow.
So we were able to get really tied in with a couple of key groups, and that helped a lot for that support.
That's incredible. Well, we're so proud of you guys. You're heroes.
Yeah.
And thank you for your service as a firefighter. That's absolutely incredible. So you guys had a lot of cheerleaders. Did people think you were crazy too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the people at work definitely couldn't understand it.
They're going, what? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing that. That's fine. Payments, you can make the payments.
That's what they would definitely say.
And now they're going, wait, how'd you do that? Tell me more.
It's amazing.
It's funny how
So
that
we
works.
see a little bit of that support group over there to your right in the lobby. We got the kiddos, Nicole and Jared. I mean, we want to bring them up, but what does it mean when you look at those kiddos now every night when you tuck them into bed and know you guys are debt free? What does that mean to you as a dad, as a mom?
When I look at them truly, I just think that, they won't have to live through that same thing. They get to see the example of how to manage your finances. And we're getting ready to start the kids program, the junior program with Nicole.
How old is Nicole?
She's 6, almost 7.
And Jared is?
2.
Oh, my goodness. So amazing. Well, a couple things we want to give you to honor you. Hang on. We are they ready? Is Nicole going to scream? She's ready to go. We're not ready to go yet. We got 2 gifts we want to give you. One, we're going to give you a copy of Dave's Total Money Makeover for you to give to somebody else. And we're also going to give you Dave's latest book, Baby Steps Millionaires, because that's what you're on the path to becoming, and you're going to do it, and it's going to be unbelievable. So we want to give you those 2 books. All right. So are the kiddos ready to go? Nicole, have you been practicing?
Ready, buddy?
She says yes, George. She's ready to go. Josh, Emily, Nicole, and Jared. They're from the Columbus, Ohio area. They paid off $149,400 in 22 months, making it $120,000 all the way up to $200,000. Josh and Emily, take it away. It's time to hear your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt free!
So awesome. Little Jared got into the act. He was on mine. numb for a little bit, and then he got down, and he's all fired up. And George, what a lovely reminder of what this is really about. When we say things like financial peace, it has a very personal application, and in this case, look at the little man. He's excited, and one day he'll get to watch this footage and really understand what that celebration really means.
I like to think about that. This will live on YouTube forever. It'll still be around, and he'll go back and watch and say, my parents did that to change our family tree.
Yeah, I love it.
Man.
So good.
Powerful.
So proud of you, Josh and Emily. Two beautiful kids, their lives forever changed, Nicole and Jared. This is why we do what we do. This is why we're here for you today. There's somebody listening, somebody watching today that feels like it is impossible. And I hope you've paid attention to just a bit of the story that we heard from Josh and Emily. They did it. Millions of others have done it. And you can do it too. We believe in you. We're here for you. Stay tuned. More calls, more breakthrough coming up on The Ramsey Show. Welcome back, America. You are joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. Joined and George got a little too close there. Joined by my colleague, George Camel. With
excitement. That's
all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm excited about. So we've been doing some fun TikTok videos, where we show a video. And for our listening audience, you're going to get to hear the audio as well. And we comment on it. And some of them have been stuff that we think is kind of ridiculous. And so we critique it. It's a nice way to put it. Now, if Dave's on, he goes, it's a rant. But that's what Dave does. We love that about Dave. You know what I mean? Spoils his supper, but it makes for great broadcasting. So today, George, I'm teeing you up here because we have a different clip, one that we are not critiquing. We actually go, you know what? Some good stuff in this, and maybe people need to hear it from somebody else. And today, our star guest contributor via the old talk, as I like to call it, George hates that, is Graham Stephan. Tell me about this Graham Stephan, because he's in your lane. You're the millennial. You're the cool kid around the block. I got 3 teens.
Yeah, so Graham he's 31 years old, close to my age, and he's a big deal on YouTube. He's got 3.74 million subscribers, and his channel is all about finances. Mainly, he focuses on real estate investing and other types of investing, and so he made a lot of money at a young age in his 20s, became a millionaire through this process, and he makes a whole lot of money now, about $6 million a year through all of his YouTube ad revenue, sponsorships, affiliates.
That's extraordinary.
And so he's a good kid. We disagree on a lot of things. Our views on debt, very different. Our views on investing, very different. But I saw this clip, and I thought, you know what? He actually has something interesting to say here that I think we can all agree with.
All right, so let's roll it.
I would say the smartest financial decision was probably investing in real estate and living. No, I would say is living below my means, living so extreme for so long. I would say it really was not until about it was a year ago when I started spending money. A year ago, and even then, it's not been frivolous stuff. But a year ago, I wasn't even in here. I was in an 800 square foot duplex. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Worked from the garage, and I had kept that up. I mean, I was doing even over $1 million a year, still living in that same 800 square foot duplex in mid city. This I don't want to say it was a bad area, but when you think of the income, you don't think of mid city LA.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And I just didn't spend any money. And that was the best financial decision ever. This house was the first time I had ever done something for myself. Was this?
Wow. Look at that.
So this is a youngster, social media star, living below his means.
Yeah, and he started with, my best financial decision I ever made, real estate investing. And he goes, no, hold on.
That. He backed it off.
You know what it was? Living on less than I made. And that is a principle that we can definitely agree on. This man was bringing in $1 million a year, living in this 700 square foot place. He could have got a nicer place, but he said, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice for a period of time so that I can achieve my bigger goals. I don't need to get all flashy now and have this lifestyle creep. Now that I make good money, I'm going to go spend it and be real flashy. And so I really respect his hard work, his sacrifice. He's a hard-working dude.
Yeah.
Even today, making those YouTube videos is not easy, and he puts in the work. And I think aside from, us disagreeing about leveraging debt and doing the real estate his way, I think we can agree that we need more young people who are willing to sacrifice, who are willing to not compare themselves to other people.
That's right.
Who are willing to do the hard work to get to where they want to go.
Now,
So
what's at the base of that, George? There's a real takeaway, too, from this. Because of a successful young guy like this, what he's saying is, without saying it, he was focused on the future, not the present. If I'm present focused, hey, I'm making $1 million. I'm going to start living it up. I'm going to spend it. If I'm future focused, I don't even think much about my 800 square foot duplex. He didn't say that.
Yeah.
But that is synonymous among all successful people, whether we agree with the way they handle their money or not. Successful people have a focus on the future. They make decisions that are not based on the now. They make decisions that are based on the future. So the now becomes prioritized. It's like, I will make great decisions in the now if I am focused on how they affect my future. That's another big takeaway that I don't want young people to miss.
One of our debt-free screamers recently said, you got to have a vision beyond Friday.
Boom.
And man, I love that.
I'd like to steal that.
Yes.
I hope no one was listening to that.
But I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
write
at the heart
down.
of that. A lot of these young people, they follow Graham, they follow his YouTube channel, they subscribe because they want to be like Graham. They want to be wealthy at a young age. So they have options and freedom and meaning and all this kind of stuff. They don't want to work till they're 65 in a job they hate. You rally against this stuff all the time, Ken. But I think at the heart of this, the young people need to understand that you can get rich quick, but you can lose it even quicker.
Oh, boy.
And the way you keep your wealth once you build it is by living on less than you make.
It's truth. It's truth. Just look up some of these high-profile athletes that have blown hundreds of millions of dollars. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time, but if you want to look out for the caution, Evander Holyfield, my goodness gracious. We're talking about unbelievable earnings, and you can spend it so fast. So on the way up, learn how to live on less than you make. Really good stuff.
Good stuff.
George, thanks for the clip.
Yeah, we had to be a little bit positive.
See,
here,
who
Ken.
says you can't learn from the talk?
Well, that's to be TBD. But there really is some great content. The same people that are rallying against TikTok are also watching Instagram Reels and sending them to me.
Oh, they're watching videos on Facebook. Let's be honest.
It's all the same. Video is a video.
Everybody's got their social media opinion.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Ben now, who joins us in Phoenix, Arizona. Ben, how can we help?
Hey, I appreciate you guys taking my call, and I appreciate you guys just doing this. It's very encouraging.
Oh, appreciate the call, man. How can we help you today?
So I've never been amazing with money. I'm kind of the opposite of that last guy, but I want to be better. But I've always kind of bought everything I can, and I finally I'm about to finish college and just got a job where I feel like I know this is a stupid opinion, but prior to now it didn't feel like I made enough money to save any money. And so I feel like I'm in a position where I can, and I'm trying to be realistic and look at all my options, and I've been looking at the benefits, and my wife and I are trying to have a baby right now, and I'm trying to decide on health care is my main question. Do you guys think it would be better to go for a nicer health care plan that's certainly more expensive because we're trying to have a baby and because we're likely going to need, a lot of that money, or to go for a cheaper one and do an HSA? I heard you guys talking about HSAs the other day, and I don't know a lot about them. You guys seem like you kind of like them, but I don't know much about them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. And you're right. There's a lot of differences with healthcare plans. And when you're looking at one and you're going, hey, we're going to have a baby, you may not want to go with the, quote, cheapest plan in this stage of life. Now, you can always change health insurance down the road, but I would be talking with your employer. They probably have a point of contact with the insurance company. I'd get in touch with the insurance company, and I'd find out exactly what this is going to look like. Lay out the scenario and say, hey, how much of the bill are we going to have to foot if we have a baby? What does it cost? what procedures, what appointments, all of that. And then you can start to look at it and go, all right, it's $1,000 more, but it's going to cover the procedure where we would have been in the hole for $2,000. Okay, this is worth it. So you don't have to go with the top of the tier health insurance, but I also may not choose the lowest one either. So it may be somewhere in between, but you've got to do some research and get some more information before you make a decision.
Yeah, and Ben, you are not on your own. George makes a very good point. Your company will have some representative who can at least help you with all those choices and decisions, or they'll get you in touch with the insurance company who is the representative. And you need to take George's advice. You'll take the fear out of this.
Yeah.
You're quite intelligent. You can make the right decision once you understand all of the options. So, just look at it, apples to apples, pros, cons, you and your wife, and sit down and go, what do we think is best for us? And I think you'll find that you're going to have some options and it's going to be okay. And I also want to say, I got 3 kids. They're teens now. And George, you're yet to be a dad. I hope you're going to be a dad. You're going to be a great dad.
Thank you.
But it is a scary thing to bring a kid into your world, and it sometimes is scarier than it needs to be. Yes, they are expensive, no question, man. They're like sinkholes. We love them to death, but it's not as expensive in some ways as you think. You can do it.
It becomes a budget line item.
It becomes a budget line item. Follow our steps here at Ramsey Solutions. It's baby-proof. It really is. All right, coming up next, more of your calls. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you live your best life by being healthy relationally, successful professionally, and peaceful financially. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague George Camel with a K. Thank you very much. 888-825-5225 is the phone number. It is a free call. 888-825-5225. We'll talk about your money issues, your work issues, your relationship issues, and just getting going on a path forward so that you can live the life that you desire to live. Let's get started with Mindy in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mindy, how can we help?
Hey, Ken and George. Thanks so much for taking my call. I'm excited to be on today.
Well, we're excited to have you. What's going on?
Yes. So, I am in what I would call a toxic work environment. And all of my friends and family and advisors are encouraging me to leave. However, I don't have another job to go to. So I'm wondering, at what point do you leave? At what point in the toxicity do you leave before having another job to go to?
Unless it's abusive, and I mean true abuse. Okay, I mean something where it's like, get out of there today. You don't feel safe. Other than that, I would not leave until you have something else to leave to. Unless, Mindy, you have no debt and you have a fully funded emergency fund that you're not going to use, and maybe you've got some cash put aside to allow you a 30 or 60-day window to really go all in. But again, very few people do that, but I put it out there as an asterisk for all the cynics. I just don't think you have to do that. I think you can find a job if you get really serious about it and you make it your primary focus outside of taking care of yourself and staying employed so that we don't have an interruption in a paycheck. But you can look and you can find right now, Charlotte, North Carolina, at this juncture of history, that particular market, it is a job seekers market right now. I'd be shocked if you can't find multiple opportunities to make more than you're making now. So I want you to be careful to find the right thing. The other reason I don't want you to jump is because I want you to take your time. You're tough enough to deal with a little toxicity. You've done it up to this point because now you know what to look for, what to avoid. I don't want you to go from one toxic environment to another. That would be very, very discouraging.
Good
So,
point.
Mindy, what job is this?
I'm a customer service representative.
Okay, and it's all in the office?
It's remote. However, I'm on the phone with my boss most of the day, and there's yelling and hanging up on. And
so it's your boss
just been rough.
specifically. That is the point of
Yes.
toxicity. It's not the company. It's not the culture. It's just one person.
Correct.
So you're in customer service, but you spend most of the day on the phone with your boss. I don't understand that.
Yeah, we make we're a small company, so we all wear a lot of hats. But yeah, we make a lot of sales calls together.
Do you love this company specifically?
No.
No, not even close.
Why can't you go find another customer service job today? There are so many out there, especially remote ones.
Yeah, I can try. It's been a rough week, and people are definitely on me to quit right now. So
Okay.
I've been looking.
Okay, I got it. So, Mindy, I'm glad you said that. It's been a rough week. This guy's a jerk, all caps. And that'll wear you down pretty fast. And then the people that you love and trust the most are going, get out of there, get out of there. But the problem is, financially, that's not a good move, I'm guessing. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can't miss a paycheck, can you?
Not without going into my emergency fund, no.
No, and don't do that. Do not. That is not an emergency. Okay? And so get after it, Mindy. Love the people that are telling you this. I love them. You love them. It's not their life. It's not their emergency fund that you're dipping into, right? So I want you to just hold strong right now. And the next time you have an awful phone call, which is probably 12 minutes from now, and the guy acts like a jerk again, you're going to be so tempted to quit. But you better quickly look towards your future and go, I don't want to burn through my emergency fund that I've worked so hard and put up with this clown to fund, right? You got to go, hey, I've got to find something else that's better for me, and I'm going to find it because I can't put up with this that much longer. It needs to drive your intensity, okay? Not drive you to make a bad financial move. And simply put, you leaving right now today without a job is a bad financial move.
Yes.
All right. Appreciate the call. You got this, Mindy. I'm telling you, you got it. Hey, listen, go to my website, kencoleman.com, and download the resource of the resume guide. I think it might be helpful to you to help stand out. We want to help you get connected better, get noticed better, so go check that out. It's a free resource. Let's go to Brianna, who joins us now in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Brianna, how can we help?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
So I was just calling. My husband and I, we are on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. We both have 800 plus credit scores, and we have one card left open that we just have one bill set up. It just kind of gets paid automatically every month and paid in full to keep our credit score up, which I know is not the Ramsey way. And I'm fine with closing it out, but my concern is that we still have a first mortgage, and we're planning on moving in the next 2 years or so. So we would need to apply again, which if our mortgage is still reporting, that's going to cause an issue when it comes to manual underwriting, from my understanding. So I'm not sure what to do, whether to close it out or not.
So you're worried if you close it out, your credit score takes a dip, but it doesn't disappear.
Right, exactly. I even called Churchill just to confirm, and they were like, yeah, no, the mortgage is still going to be reporting.
Okay. And you think you would have a bad credit score at that point?
I mean, we're both 800 plus, so I don't know that it would drop to the point where it would be an issue necessarily. I'm not sure how fast it would drop like that.
I wouldn't be super concerned about it. And if it does become an issue, you can close out the account 6 months later. I mean, once you don't have a mortgage anymore, maybe you guys rent for a little bit, the credit score disappears, and then you can do manual underwriting with no problem because you don't have any open credit lines. So that it does pose an interesting scenario when you already have a mortgage, but you guys want to buy another house, correct? And you're going to have another mortgage.
Yes, yeah, we would use the proceeds from the sale of this home to put towards the next house.
How close could you be to paying cash for your next house?
I mean, we owe about $115 on this right now. It's worth probably $200. So we'd have a pretty good down payment. But I mean, we can stay in it longer than the next 2 years, but it's just kind of tight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you close out the credit card, I'd be curious to see what happens to your credit score. I don't think it's going to tank if you keep paying your mortgage and your bills regularly without issue. I think it'll stay high, and I don't want that, but hey, you can do it, and you get the other mortgage with a good credit score, and you'll be just fine. The only thing it would affect is your interest rate, and at that point, if you're following our plan, that house is going to be paid off so fast that we're not even concerned with the interest payments.
That is a valid point that I did not consider. So that's definitely our plan.
That's a win,
you
Ken.
And your wife paid yours off fast.
That's why George comes to work every day. He just nailed it.
It's rare that anyone says I have a valid point, including my wife.
Is that right?
So that's a win from Brianna today.
Well, Brianna, thank you for the call. You've got a plan now, and thank you for making George's heart swell with pride. He's such a happy guy.
3 sizes bigger this day.
Well, you better be careful. That shirt's a small. Be careful. Hey, coming up next, more of your calls here on The Ramsey Show. If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at BethelTech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's BethelTech.net/Ken Coleman. Welcome back, America. You're joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, George Kimmel. And hey, how many of you out there would like to do work you really love in a place that aligns with your values?
I would love that.
Would you like that, George?
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, you are. And it's ironic that you say that because we are hiring at Ramsey Solutions. And we need really smart people, George.
Absolutely.
These are much smarter people than me.
With emotional intelligence. That would be great. You can have both.
Okay.
Soft skills and hard skills.
Well, you know where I'm going. UX designers, developers, writers to help us build digital products that actually change people's lives. If you want to see what it's like to work here before you apply, follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching Ramsey Careers. We need you. And if you'd like to do work that matters with us, apply for your dream job at RamseySolutions.com/careers. That's RamseySolutions.com/careers.
You know,
All
Ken,
right.
when you said we need you, it reminded me of the Uncle Sam poster. And then I thought, we need an Uncle Dave poster.
You know what?
That would be some good marketing.
Next time I'm on with him, I'm going to steal that unless you do it first.
Now you got this.
Because he'll get so irritated by that.
Yeah.
He would be like,
he might be tickled by it. We don't know. But seriously, I love this place. And it really is one of the nicest buildings I've been in. On top of the amazing team, the culture, the work that we get to do, the impact. It's fantastic. I met my wife here. Been here 9 years now.
Oh, now, George, that's a high bar.
High bar, I know. You might meet your future spouse here.
Whitney's an amazing woman. The only thing wrong with Whitney is she has poor judgment.
Yeah, but hey, caught her at the right time.
Yes, you did. And good for you. Don't tell me George Campbell can't sell.
Thank you.
You did it, pal.
RamseySolutions.com/careers. Come join us.
We'd love to see you.
You can see me and Ken in the cafeteria.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Okay.
888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Ryan is on the line in Orlando, Florida. Oh, the home of Disney, George. It's very exciting. Ryan, how can we help?
Oh, hello, Ken and George. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
I am currently 48 years old, and I've been an engineer for about 15 years. I have a very good and secure job, but I have been interested for a while in changing careers altogether.
Okay.
And so right now I'm in baby step 3, and I was curious as to when it was a good time to actually start to where within the baby steps is a good time to begin the career change journey.
Oh, I love this
just to
question.
be a little more specific. Well, just to be real specific, I have a program that's a 10-week program, so I'd have to take some time off from work because it's full time. So that's why I'm wondering, when is the best time?
So the 10-week program is what's necessary to be qualified to change gigs.
Yes.
So you'd have to take 10 weeks of work off?
Yes, because it requires being there full time, and my the work that I do also requires full time. So something's got to give.
So what happens after the 10-week program?
I would return back to my job. I wouldn't quit it right away, of course, because there's going to be a lot that needs to be done to prepare for the other career. But I just want to make sure that financially I would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to get to that, but how are you going to take 10 weeks off of your current employment and then not be a problem? You don't have 10 weeks of vacation, do you?
I can. If I work long enough, I might be able to actually accumulate about 8 weeks. And so then at least 2 weeks of that would probably have to be leave without pay.
And that doesn't raise
if I have enough saved to be fine.
Okay, I know, but I'm coming to the financial, but there's some background before I can give financial advice as relates to changing careers. So let's play that out. Let's say you do have 8 weeks. You think you can. We need to know we can, because now we got 2 weeks of unpaid leave. Does that not create question marks that could make it pretty rough on you returning back to this job that you said that's part of the plan?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't gone that far yet.
You have to.
Questions.
That's
I'm
okay.
Just beginning.
Well, but hey, that's why you called. So that's what I'm doing. I'm walking you through what you need to know. I'm really concerned about this plan involving you returning back to the place you're at now that you don't want to be, and the 2 weeks of unpaid leave. That's going to generate all kinds of questions from your leader unless they've got their head completely in the sand. And that could create problems for you. Can you not do the 10 weeks? I don't know how to ask this. Is there not another way to do the 10 weeks where you wouldn't have to take off 10 weeks of work? I mean, you do it at nights and weekends, or is that a totally silly question?
No, it would not be. I would not be able to. I'm actually interested in carpentry.
Okay, so
the program is basically working in the daytime.
Oh, okay. So you want to be a carpenter?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let me ask you this. Why can't you walk out of the 10-week training program right into a job?
That's a good question. I did not consider.
Okay, so now we got the background, because I want to answer this question for the entire audience, not just Ryan, on when in the baby steps should I change jobs. I'm going to answer that in a minute. So I haven't left. I just want everybody to know I'm getting to that. Yeah, I'm teasing it. Ryan, in your situation, I don't understand why, if you haven't gotten that carpentry training or licensing or whatever it is it a certification?
It's actually a beginning, because I have zero experience in it. So that's why I was figuring on being in the program and then possibly taking other courses, because I'm actually interested in incorporating that with some architecture courses as well.
I understand, but you need a job. Yeah. And so you cannot take 10 weeks off without pay. You're going to end up losing your current job. So we've got two ways we go about this. Either you just buckle down and you press pause on the carpentry training until you have, let's call it, to be safe, 3 months of living expenses above and beyond your emergency fund. You have to have what I would call a floating fund here. We can't interrupt income. And so if we're going to take the carpentry school, that'll then bring in money, we still got to be able to pay the bills. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is going to wait longer to be able to take the carpentry deal, or go back and do more homework and find out, could I go in and start slinging a hammer after this 10-week course? I got to tell you, in the construction world, I shared this on the show, the Ramsey Show, 2 days ago. I talk about it every day on the Ken Coleman Show. I was on Mornings with Maria on Fox Business, George, yesterday, talking about the trades and how construction workers are needed everywhere. I just think that you can make this transition, Ryan. So go find out. Go ahead, George. I know you were going to say something.
No, I'm just curious. What job are you doing now, Ryan?
I'm an engineer.
Okay. And what do you make?
$95,000.
So the question is, if you have an entry-level carpentry job,
not going to make 95.
Is that going to hurt you financially? Can you live?
Well, as you were saying, I would definitely have to make sure I have a good enough savings before I could do something
what
like
baby
that.
step are you
I
in?
believe I could live.
What baby step are you
3.
in? Huh?
3.
3. How close to fully funding that are you?
I just started baby step 3. I just finished paying off my vehicle.
Okay, so this could be another 4, 5, 6 months for you to get your emergency fund in place?
Yes.
See, and the emergency fund is not this, what I called a floating fund. I didn't have another word for it, George. The emergency fund is not for the job
You're
transition.
planning to take this 10-week course. You're planning to be away from the job, so it's not an emergency.
Yeah, so it's the emergency fund can't be used for job transition is what we teach. So back to the bigger question for Ryan and everybody else, you can change jobs at any point in the baby steps as long as there is not an interruption in income and not a sizable, serious backwards movement in pay.
Yeah.
So if we have parallel pay, and then we have more pay, that only helps us.
I think we need to look into more options for
steps.
how to get this carpentry skill set going, and maybe it's trade school at night.
Yeah, and I also think she needs to do more homework because I don't know that she wants. I heard architecture. Ryan, I want you to delay this move until you know what you can actually make slinging a hammer, because it's going to take longer to move into the architecture piece anyway. More homework. How do I get there? What's it going to cost me? How long is that going to take in light of no debt and working through the baby steps? But it's a really good question, and I really appreciate it. Folks, you can change jobs in the baby steps, just no interruption of income. All right, don't move. More Ramsey Show coming up.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by George Campbell. And George, you know, there's a cultural myth that I don't have time to break down as to how it started. It's just not enough time. But there is a myth that the best way, the only way to be successful professionally and financially is if you have a college degree. Like it's a magic ticket to a better future. Well, I think more and more people are becoming aware that that's a myth, George. And so I wrote a blog for the mothership, RamseySolutions.com. It's entitled 25 High-Paying Jobs That Don't Require a 4-year degree. And so you and I, this is a reveal. It's kind of fun for us. We chose during the break some of our favorite jobs and why in this category.
Yeah.
So based on our last call, I thought I'd start with one of mine.
Okay, hit me.
And we had Ryan on the line, and she wants to, she's in the process of, is she going to decide to take a carpentry course to become a carpenter? Well, it just so happens that one of the 25 high-paying jobs that doesn't require a 4-year degree is carpenter. And the median salary, now let me explain this to some folks, because I've done social media posts, George, get crushed on TikTok. Because people don't pay attention.
They don't understand how numbers work.
I didn't say it's the income. I'm saying it's the median. And let's explain what median is, George. Tell folks at home.
Median means middle.
Middle. So if you take the high, not average, by the way, middle. So if you take the high across the country, all 50 states, and you take the low, this is the median, the middle of the range
You learned
of
this in
carpenter
third grade.
salaries. You
and
learned
then-
this in
no,
third
You didn't
grade.
learn after that.
Well, but people don't care on social media. They just want to hammer you. So here we go. A
nice
carpenter.
pun there.
Thank you
They
very much.
just wanna hammer
I didn't
you.
even, you know what? James is going to – I'm going to hear about that one later. That's perfect. I didn't even know I said that. Oh, boy.
Okay.
So what's the median salary for carpenter, folks? $49,500. Education needed, high school diploma, and some form of apprenticeship. So there you go. What do you got, George?
I have electrician, and this one hit close to
another
home.
trade.
I just had an electrician at the house.
Oh, yeah?
And then I got the bill, and I went, oh, boy. Okay.
Hey, he's doing well.
But I'm not messing with those wires.
No.
Okay, and median salary for electricians, $57,000.
Yeah.
Education needed, diploma, apprenticeship, and there's positive job growth in that area.
Okay. All right. Let's go a little more high-tech, George. What about a radiologic or MRI technologist?
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, this isn't going anywhere. This is healthcare, right? Like you talk about stability, George. Also pays really well. Median salary, $63,710. What education do you need? Associate degree only. So, boy, that's budget friendly.
I like that one.
That's a 2-year community college. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Without the tag from med school.
That's right.
Leaving the old bill there.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, this one's personal. This one's close to home. Executive assistant was number 11 on your list.
I know why.
Median salary, $63,000, and education needed, high school diploma. And this is close to home because my wife is an executive assistant here at Ramsey Solutions. And if you know Ramsey Solutions and you know the crowd here, we have a huge, huge team of assistants.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's executive assistants that serve our operating board members, our senior leaders. And my wife is one of those rock star executive assistants that serves someone on our operating board that reports to Dave, and she crushes it. And so I think that's a great, great option for folks out there beyond the old school mentality of a secretary. This is so much more. This is a partnership with leaders to help them accomplish what they want to accomplish.
They truly are the gatekeepers that make the world go round.
It's basically
That's my
they're
description.
COOs.
That's
That's how
right.
I like to see it.
All right, here's let's do a couple more real quick. Occupational therapy assistant. This is a median salary of $60,950. Only need an associate degree. And listen to this: if you're in the people business, you love taking care of others. You would call yourself a caretaker. Great job here. This is all about helping people learn and practice skills to live and work. Most of it takes place after someone has had some type of accident or elderly people who need help performing daily tasks around their homes. So another really people-centric job, good money.
Yeah. Let me hit you with one more. This is a big one. Web developer.
Oh, yeah.
Man, median salary, $77,000.
Yeah.
And education needed, an associate's degree. And even now, there's so many options out there,
Yeah.
affordable courses online, and companies are so hungry for web developers. I mean, we are hiring them like crazy right now here at Ramsey Solutions, and you don't need to go to the fancy name brand school to get the degree in computer engineering, software engineering, and there's some crazy growth in that area.
And by the way, that's the median salary. You're going to be in the six-figure range pretty quick if you are good.
If you're
and
worth your salt.
let me also tell you, if you have people skills as a developer, watch out. All right, one more. We got to give one that is associate's degree required only. And George's is over 6 figures. High demand. Now it's high stress. So if you are a low pulse kind of person, you handle high stress pretty easily. Air traffic controller might be the gig for you. Airplanes aren't going anywhere. Median salary, George, you ready for this? $130,000. So there you go.
That's median.
Yeah, if you'd like to see the entire list, dive into it a little bit more to learn what it takes to win in those areas, you can search that blog up, RamseySolutions.com. 25 high-paying jobs that don't require a 4-year degree. All right, let's get back to the phones. The phone number for you to jump in on the line today is 888-825-5225, 888-825-5225. Samantha is up in Dallas, Texas. Samantha, how can we help?
Hey guys, so I recently inherited $300,000.
Whoa!
Yes, it's exciting, but I'm like stuck on what to do. I'm thinking I want to buy a house, but I'm confused if I should like just use it all and buy the house in full or save some, invest some. I'm just stuck.
Well, Samantha, where did this money come from?
My grandma.
Oh, well, that's very sweet. What a legacy to leave.
Yes.
Very cool. Okay, so do you have any debt currently?
No, I paid it off yesterday.
What?
Congratulations.
Samantha, that's amazing.
So how much money do you have to your name right now in cash, in savings?
I mean, in savings, I have started my emergency fund. Now I'm only at $4,000.
Okay. Well, today you get to fully fund that emergency fund. Congratulations.
Okay.
And then with what's left, I want you to be investing for the future. I want you to be investing that 15% of your household income, but that can be done through your cash flow, through your future paychecks. So this money, is a house the next goal for you financially? Are you renting right now?
I'm renting, yeah.
Okay. And have you looked at homes in your area that would be reasonable, that you'd be okay living in the Dallas, Texas area?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming you're going to have a hard time paying cash for a place in that price range. Am I wrong?
Yeah, probably it would be a good down payment, but the ones in my price range might not be in the best areas.
Okay. So if you're looking, I'm going to start doing some research and go, okay, what's it going to cost? And I know I can put, 70, 80% down as a down payment. That's going to make your mortgage payment super, super tiny. And that's going to help you pay it off really, really fast. And then, how much do you make?
$66,000 a year.
Wonderful. Now imagine making $66,000 a year, and you get to keep every penny after you pay your taxes. It's not going to a mortgage lender. It's not going to payments. That is what's going to help you create wealth. So I would be throwing the rest of the money beyond the emergency fund at your next home purchase, trying to pay cash or putting down a huge down payment if possible. Do it on a 15-year fixed rate and pay it off as fast as you can. How old are you?
29.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, this is so
Samantha,
exciting.
you're going to be so unbelievably wealthy, and part of that is due to the legacy that Grandma left you, and I think she'd be smiling about this situation.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you for
Absolutely.
calling. I love it, the advice, George. You know what? To young people, be patient on the house, man. It's so worth waiting.
Yeah.
I think about how many houses Stacy and I, so we're coming up on 24 years of marriage. And we're now in our 5th house. And I look back on the first house, we go, oh, it's great. We have great memories. But we weren't dumb with buying it, but we could have waited.
Yeah.
We could have waited and saved the money because we were only in it 2 years before we were moved for work. And we didn't make much on it. I think we cleared $7,000 or something on that first sale of the house. And I just think back. I go, I think I would have rather rented.
Yeah.
And kept saving that money, investing that money,
I'm a
and
big
wait
fan
and
of
wait
renting.
and wait and wait until you can go so much into that payment where you have no payment at all or such little payment that you can pay it off in a short matter of time, like you and your wife did.
Yeah. We got to stop putting pressure on these young people to get houses immediately.
Yeah. Because you could be George Campbell. Who doesn't want to be George Campbell?
A lot of people.
No house payment. He's saving up for the big boy.
Let's go.
Oh, it's going to be a palace. Are you going to invite me over?
Yeah. Come over.
This is the Ramsey Show. The Ramsey Show continues from our Nashville-based world headquarters. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by George Camel. We're taking your calls, 888-825-5225, money calls, relationship calls, work calls. You just want to win in those 3 areas, and you're not winning to the rate that you want to be winning, or you feel stuck or scared or unsure where to go. We're here for you, 888-825-5225. I could not be any more excited that the Ramsey 18-wheeler, George, is warming up in the parking lot. Just got an email. You and I got an email today.
We did. Fall live events.
Fall live event schedule. Woo-hoo. We've already got a couple on the spring schedule. That's what I want to talk about very briefly.
I thought they'd never let us out of here, Ken.
I know. We are coming back on the road. Building Wealth is the event that we're most excited about because it's coming up in May. 2 great cities, Las Vegas and Orlando. Couldn't be any different when you think about the makeup of those cities.
And geographically opposite sides of the country.
Geographically different. We're going to be at those 2 cities with a great event called Building Wealth. Obviously, I think the pandemic in many, many ways made us focus on the future so much more than we probably had been. And building wealth is a big part of that focus. And a lot of people are freaking out because of inflation, George. Gas and groceries, man. They're killing people. Killing us. And so we're going to talk to you and show you how to build real wealth. The financial principles we teach are the only principles that work in prosperous times and hard times. And you're going to become a baby steps a millionaire if you follow those steps. So join me, George Campbell, Dave Ramsey, Rachel Cruz, Dr. John Deloney, as we come together on one stage for a great fun night. Yesterday, I did try to get a yes or no on a tiger, and Pete Young, who is our lovely and fantastic VP of Live Events, said he loved the idea. He didn't say yes or no. He just said...
He's so kind. He said, love the heart behind it.
Yeah, he's a very
no.
nice guy. He's very nice. We're not going to have a tiger. But we are going to be there Thursday, May 5th in Orlando, Thursday, May 19th in Las Vegas. That's going to be fun. Building Wealth tickets start at just $25 for the individual, or you can get a 4-pack for only $60. So my goodness, steep discount. That's a George Camel hack.
The money you save, you can hit the slots after the event.
Oh,
How's
boy,
that?
I'm not sure that's what we want.
Okay.
But you know, hey.
Better than your tiger idea.
Well, I don't know, George. The tiger doesn't cost you. You're not throwing away money.
That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a great deal.
We're going to have fun.
Don't wait. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events to learn more. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events. Are you going to wear sequins?
I don't know. I could rock sequins.
You don't think so?
Regardless of the environment or location.
Yeah. Dr. John Deloney said he might wear a boa.
That's a visual I don't want to ever see again.
You got to come to Las Vegas to find out if any of that's going to happen. But until then, back to the phones we go. Bob is joining us in Ventura, California. Bob, how can we help?
Hey, Ken. Hey, George. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's up?
Before I get started, Ken, do not give up on that tiger dream. Please keep it going.
See, the people want
Don't
the tiger.
encourage him, Bob.
Bob, listen, would you come to the Vegas event if you knew there was going to be a tiger in a cage on the stage with Dave Ramsey?
Absolutely.
See, I'm trying to move tickets, Bob. I'm trying to move tickets, but we'll see. I'm not going to quit on it, Bob, thanks to you.
Well, hey, thanks, guys. I've been listening for a couple of years, and I was looking for clarification on Ramsey suggested guidance, which I had not heard before. So you all suggest that match, with respect to retirement savings, that match beats Roth beats traditional.
Yes.
And the recommended amount in baby steps 4, 5, and 6 is 15%. If it's traditional, that's clear in terms of the amount of your income going into your retirement because it's all. So, for example, if I make $100K and I'm putting 15%, then 15K gets into my traditional. I am at the point where I want to start investing in my 401K Roth. So is it, in that example, is it 15K that would go into my Roth, or is it 15% of my income, so a smaller amount goes into Roth? So,
That's
is
a great
it 20% of gross versus 15K going into the Roth? Thank you.
Either way, it's going to be 15% of your gross income. But you're right that if you put it in Roth, that's with after-tax dollars, which means it's going to grow tax-free. You can withdraw it tax-free in retirement. So in that regard, you investing 15% in your Roth is actually going to cost you a little more but gain you more in retirement in that sense.
Right.
Because you've already paid taxes on that money. So, yes, we say 15% of your gross household income into retirement. We love the Roth option if you've got that. That's what I do here at Ramsey Solutions. I do all 15% into our Roth 401k, and we get a match on top of that because we have great investing options. And then when I retire, if there's $2 million sitting in that account, I actually can pull out $2 million tax-free. And so I love the Roth, big fan of that. And if you can swing it with the 15% to the Roth, that's what I would be doing, Bob.
Well, hey, thanks, George. Thanks for your advice. I appreciate the clarification there, and keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for endorsing the idea of the tiger in the Las Vegas Building Wealth event. George, the people
Give it up,
want...
man.
No, wait a second. Bob is a representative of many, many more people, George. I'm convinced of it. We'll see. Megan's up in Dallas, Texas. Megan, how can we help?
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet.
So I was actually in a car accident in February.
Oh, no. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
All right.
Yeah. It's been a journey, but I did just receive a check from the insurance company. It was a total. And so where I am financially is I have $9,000 so far in my emergency fund. I'm debt-free.
Good.
And so seeing this check, I received $24,000 for my car. And just seeing that land in my account is making me rethink how much I should be spending on a car.
What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, initially I just thought I would just apply the entire check to a new car. But just looking at the prices and as I've been shopping for the last month, it kind of makes me sick to think that value of my car could go down, in the near future. Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering if it'd be a good play to get something that would tide me over and see if this car market changes. Because the car that was totaled, I purchased for $16 and they just paid me $24.
Isn't that insane?
Oh yeah.
It just kind of makes me sick to drop that kind of money.
Yeah.
So what's your income?
What's a good measure? My gross is $40. I bring home about $2,700 a month.
Nice. What was the other car, if you don't mind me asking? Give me the year and mileage.
My car was a 2016 RAV4, and it had around 67,000 miles.
Okay. So here's our parameters, Megan, to make it real easy for you. We don't want you to have more than 50% of your income tied up with things in motors. So I'm guessing the car is the only thing you own that has a motor in it? No boats, no big toys?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So in your scenario, you're making $40K. I don't want you to own a car that's worth more than $20K. So you're right. I don't think you need a $24,000 car just because they cut you a check. Instead, let it help you get ahead financially and get a reasonable car. Because you're right, this market is insane. So if you can avoid getting an expensive car in this market, you're doing all right. And I don't want you to buy a new car until you're a millionaire. So we're going to get a new to Megan car that is used. And I would be looking at something reliable. You had a Toyota, big fan of Toyota, big fan of Honda. And so I would be looking at something like that. They're making fun of how I say Toyota. I don't know, Toyota.
There it is, George. I just want to make sure the listener and the viewer knows what we're talking about. I mean, I have no problem with the way
we got bigger problems to face here in America.
So did you like your RAV4?
Well, I did, but I kind of had my eyes set on a. I'm sorry, sometimes I blank.
Yeah, so do I. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Oh, and I'm on the radio.
Don't worry about it. Was it Toyota?
It's just another midsize SUV. No.
Yeah, all right. Here's the point. Go look at them and stay in that price range that you feel comfortable with. Right?
And make sure whatever you buy, you do a pre-purchase inspection. It is worth the money, and don't get suckered in with all these fees and warranties they try to sell you. I want you to look at that contract and make sure there's nothing more than a small doc fee, if anything, and your sales tax. So don't get suckered in today's market.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I know George agrees with me on this. I'm a big Toyota, so they also make Lexus, older Lexus, Honda. He's a big Honda. Like, you got a Pilot. Look in that range and something a little bit older.
But all in, don't spend more than $20K.
Yeah, don't. And then spend less. You still get something reliable.
Absolutely.
George Camel, great job this hour. I want to thank our team in the booth back there making it all happen. And you, America, this is your show. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where we help you live your best life by being healthy relationally, successful professionally, and peaceful financially. I'm Ken Coleman. George Camel is with me, and we are here for you. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Columbia, South Carolina. Brian is on the line. Brian, how can we help?
How you doing, guys? How are you?
We are having a blast. How can we help?
Good. I have a question for you. I'm a real estate investor, and my net worth is about $2 million, maybe a little bit over. My net income is about $8,500 right now, and in December it's going to be going to $10,500 a month. So, as I said, I'm a real estate investor, and I have this whole life policy that I took out at the age of 26 and another one at the age of 33. The cash value on both those policies together is about $70,000, and the death benefit on those both together would be $107,000. I'm looking to take that money out. It's just sitting there doing nothing really. But then on the other side of the coin, if I close those accounts out, then I'm losing on the death benefit of $107,000.
That's totally fine with me.
Should I just
because you're going to get a term life policy before you cancel this whole life.
I was just going to say that. Should I take out a term policy and cover that 107?
100%.
And then take that 70 and then just use it?
Yeah, well, I want you to get a term policy that's 10 to 12 times your income, and I guarantee you it'll still be astronomically cheaper than what you're paying for this whole life policy right now. It's a total ripoff.
Well, I'm not paying anything for it because I took it out when I was very young, and right now the dividends are paying the premiums.
But there's agent commissions, fees. There's all kinds of things that are wrapped in there.
Yeah, that
you
is
think
true.
They're not making
That
money
is
off of you? They are, buddy. So here's what I would do. Get a term policy in place. Contact our friends at Xander Insurance. They'll get you started there. I just did this, actually, upgraded my own term life, and it was a great process. Once you have the term life policy in place, until it's active, don't cancel the whole life. Once it is active, cancel the whole life, get the cash value out of there, and you'll be set.
Right, I understand. The only thing is I hate taking on more debt. You guys are really big on having no debt, and I get that, and I love that. The only debt I have is right now is the house that I live in, my primary, and a car, and that's pretty much it. All my properties that I have are paid in full.
Wonderful.
So that's great. I have 4 properties that are all paid in full, and that's kind of my income along with my Social Security money that I have coming in.
Cool. Well, I would pay off that car. If you get that cash value out, I'm getting completely debt-free. Are you investing 15% of your income?
Yes.
Okay. So beyond that, we're going to pay off the house with whatever money is left over.
Right.
Then imagine making your money without a payment in the world.
So the main thing is to take this $70,000 and then just use that and take the term policy and cover the $107,000 death benefit that I'd be losing.
Yeah, the $107,000. You're saying $107,000 if you died today.
That's right.
That sucks. You need way more than that, and so a term life policy is going to be way cheaper, and you can get that for 10 times your income. Let's just say you get a $1.5 million policy. It might be a few $100 a year. You can cover that.
Yeah, especially with the preferred rate.
I want you to do your investing and your insurance separate. And the problem with whole life is it tries to do 2 things at once and it sucks at both.
Right.
Wow, George, very
I don't mind I don't mind so much losing the 107 on this death benefit because my assets would cover anything from my death in the event
you're
that
not going to lose anything. Once you get that term life in place, instead of 107 benefit, you're going to have a $1.5 million benefit for a fraction of the cost.
Oh, great. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, you're not losing anything here at all.
So
by the way,
you
word
won't
to
miss
the
that.
wise.
You won't miss that benefit.
Yeah, and word to the wise, get yourself in premium shape before you take that term life insurance test.
Yes, you don't want to have a gap there. So make sure you get term life in place, then cancel whole life. It's one of the worst products out there. The only people who benefit from it are the whole life salesmen.
Imagine that, because it's not insurance.
It's trying to be too many things at once. Don't like it. Not
George,
a fan.
George, are you okay?
I'm sorry. I get riled up, Ken.
I mean, you just got a little hot under the collar
about
there.
whole life insurance, nonetheless.
Yeah, wow.
But he's doing so great, and I want him to protect his assets and all the stuff he's worked so hard for.
Don't apologize for passion.
Okay.
I love it. You ready to go, though?
I'm ready,
You
man.
settled down?
Whew.
All right.
Put me in, Coach.
Adrienne is up next in Milwaukee. Adrienne, how can we help?
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Great. Thank you, first of all, for taking my call. I'm so excited. I've been listening to you guys for a couple of months now, and I'm calling because I'm a single mom of a 12-year-old, and her entire life we've lived in extreme poverty.
Oh.
And I'm legally, excuse me, I'm going to cry. I just can't.
That's okay.
I can't believe y'all took my call.
Adrienne, hey, listen, we're here for you. Take your time. It's okay to cry. This is painful stuff. We're not going to leave you hanging. Take your time.
I just, I feel like every time I try to get up, something happens and I get knocked down.
Yeah.
And if y'all didn't know this, and I know you do, childcare is expensive.
Yes.
And so I've often had to stay home with her. And I have a degree. I actually have a degree in teaching. And people ask me, and I don't mean to throw this at y'all, but
it's okay.
People ask me, why are you not teaching? Well, when I was a student teacher, I was sexually assaulted by a gang that's now famous, MS-13.
Oh, my gosh.
And it left me with PTSD.
Oh,
so sorry.
And I just, it's just been difficult the last 5 years, especially to watch them grow and become famous. And when they announced a year and a half ago terrorist charges for their leaders, I had severe memory loss, and I got help. I went to a psychologist, and we talked through it and everything. So I know you're online and everything.
Adrienne, let me ask you this: Are you healthy enough? Are you healthy enough after the counseling, the therapy that you've gotten to do other type of work that maybe not in that environment that is so painful?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's why I'm calling, because I know I'm crying because I just can't believe you took my call. But the answer to that is yes. And my daughter and I lived together in a recovery center end of 2021, and they knew what was going on, and it was for protection too.
Are you living in a safe place now? Where are you two living now?
I am. We are actually north of Milwaukee, and we live next to our town's police department. So we're as safe as we're going to get.
Well, no, you're safe as you can be in public housing. Am I understanding you're still in public housing?
Oh, yes, we are. You hit the nail on the head.
Okay, so, Adrienne, we want to help you. So we're going to hold you over. We got to go to a commercial break. George is ready to go. We're going to help you get your money game figured out. I'm going to help you figure out how we can get some work that is healthy and also making enough money for you to be able to crawl out of this, because you can, but crawl is probably the key word here. So here's what I want you to do. Take a deep breath, get yourself a glass of water, hang on through the commercial break. When we come back, we're going to pick up right where we left off, which is how can we get you good work to start bringing in more income so that we can begin to build financial peace. Hang on. We're going to help you out. You're a sweet lady. The best is yet to be, I promise. This is The Ramsey Show.
Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions, because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career.
Welcome back, folks. You're joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. Going into our last commercial break, we had been talking with Adrienne in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And she and her 12-year-old daughter have been in public housing for some time. She's dealt with a lot of trauma in her past. And essentially she's going, help, get me out of public housing. And so George and I are going to dive back in here. We want to work on income first, and then what do we do with that income for a better life? So we're going to go back to Adrienne. Adrienne, okay, so let's talk about income. We know you've been through a lot. We want to focus on the future. And so you've got a college degree, you've been a teacher, so you've got a lot of transferable skills and you have transferable experience. And I think in this job market, Adrienne, we're talking about the lowest unemployment rate in the history of this country right now. It is a job seekers market. I can give you some resources at the end of our call, but I just want you to give me one or two things that you know that you can do and do a good job of that's going to pay you enough money to get out of poverty level. Give me two ideas real quick.
Ooh, online remote teacher.
Okay.
Rather than be in the classroom.
All right, that's a good one.
And I actually took your career assessment last night, and it suggested social justice, advocacy, human and civil rights, but I don't really know how that transfers, to an actual specific job.
Okay, so glad you took the Get Clear career assessment. Those are just pointing you in directions. So you want to look at things like social service, social work. Okay, I'm not saying these are things that you automatically should do. I'm just saying you have to brainstorm a little bit. And the best way to brainstorm is actually get on job sites in Milwaukee and begin to see who's hiring. And can I do things where I love on people, right? Because that's what you want to do. You have the gift of instruction. So you could take a training job, maybe an HR training job. There's so many different things that you can do because of your degree and because of your background in teaching people. So I want you to begin to believe that you can actually make really good money right now. You can make good money. You can be making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. You can do that. And that's going to take care of the public housing problem. And your daughter's 12, and if you're in a safer place, I'm a father, so please understand from which I come from on this. She's 12. If you're in a safer place, and you said you're in a safe place now, she can stay home in between the time she gets off of school and you get off of work. And so there is a path forward for you. Do you see that?
I do. I absolutely do. And that's a huge reason why I called in.
All right, great. Now let's talk about the money situation. George, jump in here on what she's doing and where she's at and how she can get
what
peace.
is your income now and where is it coming from?
I was working at a restaurant by where I lived over the winter because my car had died. And my income's only $1,000 a month.
Okay, so $1,000 a month, and where's that coming from currently?
McDonald's.
Okay, so you've got a part-time job there right now?
I had to quit it the other day. Well, actually, I gave them 2 months because the work gave me I had to go to the emergency room because my rib cage is inflamed.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
I said, okay, I have to quit, but I'm going to give you, a length of time. They cleared me to come to work. They said, you can go now.
So you don't have income right now?
No, we just dropped to zero.
Yeah, sweetheart, you get it.
We need to cover your four walls: food, utilities, housing, and transportation. We have to have food on the table. We have to be able to cover your rent, whatever that is. How high is the rent for you?
None.
Okay, because of public housing.
They're in public housing.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then
we're in public
transportation.
housing,
Do you
so-
have a car?
No.
So you're walking
They
to work?
told me that I walk to work and I walk through the snow and I walk through the ice. My car, the apartment complex said, and this was a little bit ago, they said, hey, you fix it today or we're towing it. And
Adrian,
so
you've got to go get a job as soon as possible. We've got to get you some health insurance in place. We've got to get some stability here with the four walls before we can do anything else. We've got to keep food on the table. We've got to cover the bills, and we've got to do that ASAP. This is your A1, and we also have to get you healthy. So we want to send you some resources. One of those things is Dr. John Deloney's new book that's coming out soon, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. It's going to help you deal with all of the trauma that you've experienced. It comes with a month of therapy from BetterHelp, weekly counseling that's going to be helpful. And Ken can also send you a copy of his book.
Yeah, we're going to give you a copy of From Paycheck to Purpose because you have got to take care of you and your daughter financially. You've got to get a job, and you can. You're going to have hardships, but you need more income, bigger paycheck, and then we'll help you walk through that. Let's also get her a copy of Total Money Makeover so that you know how to spend your money, how to start a great financial foundation. We're so sorry for what you've gone through, but you have survived it, which tells me that days of thriving are just around the corner. But it starts with you getting busy and getting out of public housing. That's going to lift you not just financially, but lift you emotionally and allow you to do what you need to do to get healthy and take care of that baby girl. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for the call. Alexa is on the line in Denver, Colorado. Alexa, how can we help?
Hi there. How are you guys?
Doing great. How can we help you?
So I just want some input from you guys. My husband and I are currently on baby step number 2. We should be done with that and halfway through our emergency fund here in about 3 to 4 months. But I guess I've recently kind of have a little bit of a burden on my shoulders, and would like to know when would be a good time to figure out.
Alexa, you just dropped out the last 10 seconds. Could you repeat that?
Speak directly into your phone.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Hello?
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
We missed some things there.
So you kind of said, I would like to, and we lost you.
You're going to be debt-free and halfway funded the emergency fund in 3 to 4 months, but you'd like to?
Just get some input or advice from you as far as lately I've had a little bit of a burden to kind of stay home with my kids. I've worked their entire lives. I have 3. My oldest is 7. So I guess I just, I feel like I've missed a lot of them already. And I guess I would like to know your input as to how to know financially, when is a good time to stay home, or if it's a good time. Obviously getting out of debt is got to do my part. So
yeah. Well, I think you're financially ready when you're financially ready to make that move. And so I would want you to have a fully funded emergency fund before we have this conversation. And then we need to figure out, can we live on your spouse's income? Are we going to be okay? Can we cover all the bills and still have the margin to invest and save for the kids' college and pay off the house early and do all these other things? So he might need to get his income up, and Ken can help in that regard. But I love the idea of you staying home. It just might be a not now.
That's exactly right. The formula is really simple, Alexa. You can be a stay-at-home mom when you can afford to. And so that's a combination of increased income or lowering expenses. And you get to determine that. That's what's kind of fun about it, but it's also kind of frustrating, right? Because there's some patience there. And it's just like anything else. I'd say the same thing to you as I would say to somebody who says, Ken, I want to move careers, or I want to change, and I want to pivot, but it's going to take time to get qualified. It's going to take time to pay off debt, to be able to afford the qualification process. I get it, but it's going to be worth it. And if that's your big vision, you better put that front and center every day when you wake up. Your mountaintop is stay-at-home mom. So in order to scale that mountain, what must be true? What must you do? And you have the answers. George and I don't have the answers, but we can help. And I can tell you it's increased income, and it is decreasing expenses.
What's his take-home pay?
His?
Yes.
About 55.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So I mean.
No, sorry. That's gross. That's gross.
Yeah. So you and your husband, this is a steak dinner or whatever your favorite dinner is, candlelight, and let's dream together.
And look at the budgets.
My dream is to be a stay-at-home mom. Is he on board? If he is, what is his role? What is your role? This is a team. We lock arms and go, this must be true for me to come home and be full-time with our babies.
Yeah. And do a fake budget. Do a fake budget as if you're just living off of his income. See how tight it is and see what the gap is. That's going to help you make this a reality.
That's a great exercise. All right, the reality is, George, we still got more Ramsey Show, more breakthrough right around the corner. Don't move.
If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. George Campbell joins me today as we take your calls. 888-825-5225. Question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Blinds.com. 100% satisfaction guarantee means even if you mismeasure or pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping. And with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code RAMSEY to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Spencer in Ohio. He asks, I currently attend community college and want to pursue a bachelor's degree in sportscasting. This means I will have to move out of state and attend classes on campus. Most of my community college costs were covered by financial aid. My worry is that if financial aid and scholarships do not cover the full cost of tuition and housing when I change schools, I will have to take out student loans. The tuition amount for the degree is nearly $70,000. However, with financial aid, it may be closer to $40,000. I have $10,000 saved up for my job. What are my options for paying off the rest of this cost of this program?
Well, all right, George, I'll let you take on that one there. But I'm going to tell you right now, I started out in sports broadcasting. I do not have a degree in sports broadcasting. I have tons of friends that are in sports broadcasting. They don't have a degree in sports broadcasting. This idea that, A, you have to have a degree to be a sports broadcaster is totally a myth, number one. Number two, why in the world do you have to leave Ohio? Okay, we have two things here. You don't need the degree to be a sports broadcaster, but if you want to get a sports broadcasting degree, I don't begrudge that. If you can pay for it, cash, and you don't go into debt, but why would you have to go out of state? That's a desire, George, not a requirement. There's plenty of state schools in Ohio where as a resident, he's going to get a much better discount, and then that leads to the question that he's asking on the money piece. He won't have as much debt.
Yeah, well, I see a lot of have-tos. Well, that means I have to. Well, that means I have to take out student loans.
Right,
and that's where your language needs to change.
Yeah.
You say, I'm not taking out student loans no matter what. So where does that leave me? Well, right now it leaves you with a $30,000 gap. If you're saying it's going to be closer to 40, I have 10 saved. So now I go, okay, if you really want to pursue this and this is the only path, which it doesn't sound like you've done your research to know that, then how quickly can I save up $30,000 by working my butt off in order to afford this? But before you even do that, I go, you don't need to get a degree in sportscasting. You can get a degree in communication. You can get a degree in broadcasting. You can just go get some experience somewhere like Ken's talking about. Go work your tail off for free at a radio station and get some chops until you can work your way into a position like that. And it may take 7-8 years, and I'm okay with that. And if you can do it debt-free, that's going to make this whole process a whole lot easier and a whole lot less stressful.
Took me 7 years to get to Ramsey Solutions. 7 years from starting from scratch, no degree in broadcasting at all. I would also point out that early on, I took a sports broadcasting school, which was local in Atlanta, and it cost a whopping $699. Woo. And I learned stuff in that little class taught by a local sports producer that I still use to this day.
What does that tell you, Ken? It's not about the piece of paper. It's about the person.
It's about what do I need to learn to do what I want to do, and where are all the places that I can do that?
I love it.
So
there it is. Good luck, Spencer.
Yeah, I get it. And people are making these decisions right now in the height of inflation.
And
right?
don't tell me you have to. Don't put yourself in some imaginary corner and back yourself in and go, I have to. This is the only way.
Yeah, I know. All right, George, let's talk inflation, shall we?
Yes. So we took a call earlier about housing. And it's a stressful thing for a lot of people, combating inflation, protecting your four walls. And so we've been doing a series on this. We've covered food and utilities. We've got those highlights on our YouTube channel for you to go check out. And today I want to talk about housing. This is a big issue. Whether you're renting or you're looking to buy a house, this is a tough situation for a lot of people. We're seeing prices ballooning out of control right now. I mean, we're seeing some stats here. Rent has ballooned 20% since January 2021. We're seeing them be much higher elsewhere, 50%, even 60% in some areas with rent. So let's talk about ways to save on rent. Number one, this is uncomfortable. No one wants to do it. Get a roommate. I know. You don't want to live with other people. People are complicated. You want to have your own space. You don't want to deal with the dishes sitting in the sink. But that person can cut your housing expenses in half. And this can be a great temporary short gap to get you to where you want to be financially. Number two, sign a longer lease. A lot of the times, if you sign a longer lease, if you know you're going to stay in the same place for a while, you can sign a 16-month lease, an 18-month lease, and save some money that way. And lastly, this is a crazy one, you can move out. you can go find cheaper rent elsewhere. And it may mean moving out of the fancy city and you're a little further out. But if you can stomach the commute, or if you're remote, man, that opens you up to a lot of options when it comes to rent. Do that. Now, when it comes to buying a house, this is a big one, Ken. People are making some really terrible decisions out there because of the FOMO and the market, and they feel like if they don't get in now, they'll never get in.
Now, what is the FOMO, George?
The FOMO is the housing prices are going up so fast that I'll never be able to save up, so why not just do it now? Even though I can't afford the mortgage, I'm just going to go ahead and do it and worry about it later. And I can tell you, we take plenty of calls here on the Ramsey Show of people who call in and say, Ken, George, I made a huge mistake. We jumped into a house too soon because we were impulsive. We skipped the appraisal. We skipped the inspection. The roof is caving in. It needs $20K of work, and we don't know what to do. And the mortgage payment we can't breathe with this payment. So I want you to buy a house the right way, and that means saving money, because you're not going to be drowning. So here's how to save on housing. Number one, save up 10 to 20% for your down payment. And I want you to avoid PMI. That's private mortgage insurance, if you can put 20% down or more, which is money that protects the banks, not you, in case you can't pay. Number two, I want your payment to be no more than 25% of your monthly take-home pay on a 15-year fixed loan. Now, that's hard for a lot of people. They go, well, God, come on, Ken, it's going to take me 7 years to get there. I'm fine with that if it means you're not broke for the next 7 years because you had no patience to wait.
Yeah.
And third, this goes right into this. Wait until the market cools down. We're seeing interest rates start to go up, which hopefully helps cool off the market. I'm not going to predict anything, but that's the hope. Yeah. So let's chill out. Let's be patient. Let's take this time to save up even more for the down payment, so that when it cools down, we can make a level-headed decision.
I got a thought, George. You were talking about FOMO, and fear of missing out is what you're talking about. I think it needs to be FOSO, fear of stressed out.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Well,
it's
hey,
not good.
I want you all to check out the full blog at RamseySolutions.com. It's called How to Combat Inflation and Protect Your Four Walls. We cover everything from food, utilities, housing, transportation. I think even if you do a few of these ideas, it will help create some margin in your budget so that you can breathe, so that we can get through this crazy time of inflation.
Very nice. All right, back to the phones. Eric joins us in the Big Apple, New York City. Eric, how can we help?
Yeah, so my question is it worth it to spend $200,000?
I highly doubt it.
To do an MBA?
I highly doubt it. Why do you think you need the MBA?
I don't think I need it. I think it has some real estate classes, and I'm interested in real estate, but I'm already doing it. And I'm not sure if the classes are...
So why would an MBA help you become a better real estate agent? Why not just sell a bunch of houses and get a bunch of experience and be great with your people skills?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm just investing on the side.
Okay, so my question is...
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's helpful. And the other thing is I have a full-time job, but I don't think I need an MBA for a promotion or anything.
You don't? That's what I was trying to tell you. Because I said
the MBA has...
Eric, listen to me. I said, why do you think you need it? You went, well, I don't think I need it. I'm already doing it. So stop doing it. Because my guess is you're not paying cash for it. Are you paying cash for it, or are you taking out loans?
I probably won't take a loan. I don't have enough cash for that now, but it's a part-time program, and over time I'll
How are you doing your real estate investing?
Yeah, I have mortgages, and I also have I also invest with cash.
Okay,
it depends on the property.
So we don't believe in debt. All right, and you're in debt on this real estate game, and you need all the cash that you can to pay that debt off to get out of debt, which means no more cash going towards an MBA that you do not need. Nobody cares if you have an MBA. It'll never hold you back, ever. It'll absolutely never hold you back. So don't take it, George. I mean, he needs that cash to get out of debt.
Stop playing around with debt, man. This is monopoly money. It's going to screw you over long term.
This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. George Campbell joins me. Our scripture of the day comes from Psalm 119, verse 66. Teach me knowledge and good judgment, for I trust your commands. Our quote from the billionaire founder of Spanx, a lovely lady I had the opportunity to interview at an Entree Leadership Summit.
That's right. Great interview.
Not too long ago. Sarah Blakely, it's important to be willing to make mistakes. The worst thing that can happen is you become memorable. I like that. I've also heard it said, George, that the worst mistake we make in life is being afraid of making mistakes.
Ooh, that's so meta.
Huh?
That's so meta.
What
I
does
like
that mean?
Meta?
Yeah.
It's just within itself, like the Matrix.
Oh, it's like the new Spider-Man with all three Spider-Men.
Just like that.
Am I wrong? All the
close.
different universes?
Yeah.
Meta?
That's a
You're
good way to
teaching
look
me,
at it.
folks. He's teaching me right here on the show. Joe is up in Kansas City. Joe, how can we help?
Hey, fellas. How are you guys?
Oh, we're having a blast, Joe. What can we help you with?
Well, I got a question. I know when I tuned the show in a little while ago, you were talking about job advice, and then it became, switching jobs, things like that. I love my job. So I'm in a sales organization. We're a car business.
Okay.
So we have all salesmen in one big room. I will be 55 this summer, and one of the issues I deal with is I'm dad. And so when I try to lay some knowledge on the other guys, because I have been the number one salesman several months, some in a row. Okay, Dad, thanks for the advice, and I kind of get stickered off. But the work ethic of half my age coworkers, how do I not let it get to me?
So they're being disrespectful?
Words. No, not disrespectful. But I just, I don't see, I will sell a couple dozen cars a month. That's just the way I work. And some months, 40, some months 18 or 20, whatever. And they are happy with 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And I know I can't pay my bills on six cars a month.
But let me ask you this, Joe.
So
when they sell way less than you and they're happy about it, does that affect your paycheck at all?
It does not, and I realize that part of it. I realize that we're not a salary position, and they can come and go as they please. But I see a lot of the guys. There's a couple particular that, man, they could be doing so much better.
Yeah,
and
but guess what, Joe?
They're not.
Joe, first of all, can I just tell you, I have tremendous empathy for you. I really do. I'm 47. I'll be 48 in July. We're not that far apart in age. I get irritated all the time by stuff like that. Young people not seeing what they need to see in the moment, doing what they need to do in the moment. But the reality is, we were like that once on some level, maybe not as bad, but you're letting it bother you so much. And you started off the phone call by saying, I love my job. I like what I do, but I'm dad. And I think that dad is coming, that the way you speak to these guys and gals is coming from a good place. I think you are trying to be that older, wiser gentleman to help them. And I think your heart is in the right place, but your attitude's not. And it's coming across that way. And that's why they're calling you dad. And instead of getting, bent out of shape about it, you need to listen to that and go, it's probably not cool that they're saying that to you, but you're also coming across in a way that they're kind of calling out in their own way. And so you don't need to be dad, because I say whatever I want to when I want to my 3 kids. They don't have to like it. They live in my house.
Right.
They are the beneficiaries of my hard work, Joe. But these guys and gals aren't your kids. They don't live in your house. So you don't need to give them advice unless they ask for it. And here's why.
Okay.
And I know that's hard to hear, Joe, but listen, here's why. I know, but listen. They don't want your advice. And until they want your advice, don't give it. Because even though they need your advice, when you give it and they don't want it, it's not received, and then it hacks you off even more. Go in and do your job. Do the best that you can do. Model the way and stay to yourself. and shake your head when they're not around. Comment on this younger generation all you want to. Stop giving them advice. Because here's the deal.
I appreciate it.
Because here's the deal. That's going to lower your blood pressure. And it's going to make your job so much more enjoyable. It's not your problem. Even though you can help, it's not your problem. George, you are a millennial.
Yeah.
Anything I said wrong there? I'm the Gen X.
I felt it. I'm going, man, this resentment is only on Joe. They're not affected by it. They're brushing you off. And so you focus on selling cars and let them focus on selling cars. And one day they're going to go, how does Joe sell so many cars?
That's
Man, that guy's got financial margin in his life. I want that.
That's
and right now they're young, probably single. They're just blowing their money on the weekends.
Yeah.
And that's just part of a misled youth. They'll get there. They'll come around.
Yeah. And by the way, they'll see. And they've heard what you said. They just have chosen not to listen.
It's
Big
not
difference.
illegal to not work hard. This is America.
Yeah, I get it, Joe. Move on. Do your thing. Dalen is in Salt Lake City, Utah. Dalen, how can we help?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
Okay, so I have a quick question. I'm getting promoted at work, and that promotion is out of state. So I'm thinking, I have some debt right now. Obviously, I was newly married, with my wife as of last November. Together, we have about $4,000 in credit card debt. And I'm thinking it would be wise, and I'm just getting a second opinion, I'm thinking it would be wise to attack that $4,000 of credit card debt, then shack up for the move, and then move come like August, just in time for my promotion. Do you think that's a good idea?
I mean, yeah, I didn't know the urgency of having to move, but if you can control the timeline at all, absolutely. I want you to be able to get out of debt and stack up for the move, pay everything in cash, and I want you to have an emergency fund as well, but if we can do that as soon as we move, that's our next goal. I'm okay with that, and you're going to live on even less than you're living on now, even with your raise, and that's going to help you get there even faster.
That's my wife and I's mindset right there. So I was just getting a second opinion.
Now, if you had to move next month, I'm going to say, hey, let's pause the debt snowball. We're kind of in a storm right now. We've got to stack up cash to pay for the move. But if you control the timeline, absolutely. Let's get rid of this credit card debt and then cut up the cards and never go into debt again.
No. Are you getting any type of money for the move from the new company?
I'm not getting any money for the move itself, but I am getting about a $3,000 to $4,000 raise.
Okay.
So a month.
Okay,
So-
gotcha. All right,
A month. That's great.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way, on the new promotion.
Very exciting.
And love the call. I love the forward thing on this because do you have this is your lane. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, boy.
Do you know what an average move costs these days?
I've seen some packages out there with salaries. Sometimes they'll throw $5,000, $10,000 to help with the move situation.
Yeah.
It depends on your life.
Yeah,
you got
obviously,
a lot of
if
stuff,
you're
a
moving
lot
East
of kids.
Coast to West Coast, obviously that's more expensive.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if there was an average cost of moving because I tell you what, I imagine the prices are going up on that just like they are
With gas, especially.
anything else. Yeah,
You're trying to get a truck across the country. It ain't cheap.
No.
But, I've seen it's definitely going to be a few $1,000s. It can be upward of 10. Anything beyond that would make my stomach hurt if
Yeah.
you're spending more than that to move.
Whew.
Moving is the worst. Even just moving around town, you're going to spend $1,000, $2,000 on some good movers. And let me tell you, I'm not asking my friends. I'm big on that. Hire movers.
Yeah, I think everybody pretty much agrees with that. It's the quickest way to destroy friendships.
I would rather donate $20 to your GoFundMe.
Let me play devil's
to hire
advocate for a second.
movers.
Boy, I'm going to offer them beer and pizza, George. I mean,
No, I don't want that. For back-breaking work, and your buddy's out of shape already, and you're having to move this furniture as he dents it up.
True story.
Dangerous.
True story. Back in the day, me and about 5 or 6 buddies, we were asked by a friend to help him move. So what do? You have to say yes. So we showed up. One of my clown buddies, James, was wearing a weight belt as if that was going to support his back. You know the belt you see a lot of these movers wear, the Velcro deal? He shows up with an old-fashioned leather weight belt.
I love that.
As if that was going to help his poor back.
That's a good friend.
By the way, the weight belt came off within 30 minutes of starting the move. All right, good stuff. George
Fun
Campbell,
times.
thanks for being with me. Thanks to James, captain of the ship, and everybody in the control room. Thank you, America. This is your show. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.